what's up, everybody? That's right, it is me, KZ, and this is your update for the content for February 2025. Great to see you. I woke up a little bit ago. Pretty refreshed, a little groggy, but I did want to put this out at the start of the day before I get on with everything I got going on. Let's get the usual bit of a recap on our content, what I plan on doing coming up, at least in the near future, and we have a pretty good time with it. So, let's get right into that. Of course, I would like to let you know there are many ways to support me, as you always know. But I definitely want to give special shout outs since it's about to pop yet again for a new month. Patreon, patreon.com/KZXcellent. I have to say, it is definitely my safety net. You guys over on Patreon are the ones that make it so that when I pay my rent, I have literally any money at all. I usually run my my big ol' rent goal and stuff like that on stream, and then have zero after that. So the Patreon helps me to order groceries and pay my electric bill, among other things. So thank you so much. It means a lot. Moving on to other great things, like things you give a shit about, the things that you get to watch. So let's get to it. This month we did a variety of things. We'll start from here. That was where our last update video came out. We did some more Mario Party. We did Mario Party 1, in which we finished it up in a way, at least for now. We did the Luigi's Engine Room, and then we moved on over to 50 turns of Mario Party 1's Donkey Kong Jungle Adventure. And that was fine. It worked. Mario Party 1's an evil game. They should bring back the rule set that these games ran by and the way they take away coins and how they're just so hostile, and make that the pro rules of the modern games. I bet I said that last time too if I ended up mentioning it. Real good fun. Next time we got to hang out was again for another Mario Party, Mario Party 4. It was one of those where we kind of scheduled in the middle of another session, and you'll notice we did not do Mario Party again for a little bit after this, just because I was tired of having to schedule these things in front. It kind of stresses me out trying to find 4 exact people for it. It's a bit easier it's easy to get Jordan. It's relatively easy to get Aaron than getting the 4th. It's challenging, you know? And I'm someone who's like, oh no, I hate inconveniencing people. So there's always this push-pull of trying to get the 4th in there. So it took a little bit of break after this. But we did Mario Party 4 Deluxe. It's a mod of Mario Party 4 that adds 24 additional items. It was a really good time. Minigame roster in this quite good. Boards are fine. That's about the best I can say for it. My schedule got screwed up at some point, so we ended up trying to fix it with Doom. Played about 9.5 hours of this sucker. Played through all of it, basically an accidental death stream in a way. Thoroughly enjoyed my time. Doom 2016 is fantastic. And then we transitioned directly into Doom Eternal, because we are prepping for the new game Doom the Dark Ages, which drops into the very beginning of May. And oh man, this one also good. Probably one of my favorite, definitely my favorite shooter ever. Feels great, amazing speed. Hurt Me Plenty is the right difficulty for it now that I know how to play it, to where it's always pushing me, but it doesn't feel insurmountable. Then we did the State of Play in between doing the Doom Eternal DLC. So we did most of it, and then we didn't have enough time. Then this was starting, so we checked out the State of Play. And hell yeah, man, they fucking showed off a new Digimon game. And we've been waiting on the new Digimon story game for 7 years, because they confirmed they're making another one. This is the first one not designed at all to be a Vita game. So I'm excited to see the upgrades to it, and just seeing how much more genuine good content is in it. Because I remember Cyber Sleuth was a main story that I feel takes a little bit too long to take off. And there's a lot of do detective work quests, and all the quests are these unvoiced things, and the translation for Cyber Sleuth was embarrassing. It was quite bad. It's it was one of those where I didn't really notice it when I first played it, to a large degree. But it, ugh. On re-examination, it's man, they put that in a real bad state. It was a rough one. So I'm excited to see the new one, because the last I'm talking about a game that came out when Street Fighter V was coming out. So it's like it's been a minute. Next up, we're in a bit of a holding pattern to Pirate Yakuza. I did a quick look of Avowed, which I did enjoy, but definitely didn't feel like a stream game for me. Very dialogue heavy, very dry in some of its dialogue as well. At least to me. Definitely something I want to play on my own, where I can like really lock into it without looking at chat or having a call talk about other things. Then we jumped into BioShock, doing a quick playthrough of that across 2 streams. Had a great time with it. This one I ended up buying $50 of bug juice on Amazon, a children's drink you would typically find in gas stations I had never heard of. This was then paid off when we went into the Kingdom Hearts 2 randomizers, in which it arrived, and then I tried it out on stream, and then made horrible noises with it in the second stream. as Jordan tried to make it my Estus flask in real life. That sure was something, I guess. KH2 Rando's still really good. Like, 2 real fun runs, blessed with some pretty good luck on them, too. Felt good. Then, it was time for the Sonic Racing Crossworlds beta. Now, all the way back here, they revealed they were doing a beta. I applied for it, and I got in somehow. Felt great. We played it. They called their major unlock thing Race Play Rewards, and they released this beta on Black History Month. I don't know if they should have done that. I'm gonna be honest here. Doesn't seem very smart. They might change that. Perhaps. Oh, man, that's gonna... Oh man, I guess they'll be talking about that on Castle Super Beast at some point. I haven't seen a clip in my feed yet about it. Next up, we have Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. I did this in 5 streams. Mostly a mix of side content and main plot for the first 3 here. This 4th one is me doing pretty much entirely the Devil Flag side quest, which is the thing that involves using the boat. Basically, I got every treasure that you find in every ocean zone in the game, including the ones you unlock through side content, beat all that up, unlocked all of the special summons and stuff in the game, finished that up, and then did a little bit more main plot, and then the final stream is the final 2 chapters of the game. Again, it's like a Gaiden game, like the one they put out, The Man Who Erased His Name, where they're 5 chapters long, much shorter on your main story, probably about 14 hours. And then they put a lot of stuff behind, around it. The first Gaiden did to a degree, but it was a bit limited in scope and what was going on there. This one, they had the whole pirate stuff and a new hub they made, so as a result, there's a lot more side stuff. As a result, I feel like some people will go in, like, thinking maybe it's going to be this massive story game in the way the other ones was. But it's still ultimately a Gaiden game. I didn't really have a problem with that. I think the story they told was quite good. They could have fleshed out a couple of things, but overall it wasn't something that I was too burned by, basically on any way. You know, if I'm disappointed by something, it's very hard to hide it. I really, really had a great time with this. Enjoyed all the characters. That said, if there's one thing I would have liked, it's that they stopped railroading the side content at you. They kind of like, you'll like go through a story thing and you'll walk over to it and then they go, yeah, but what if you did this right now? And then they introduce you the side thing. Not really a big fan of that, but it's fine, it's fine. I played pretty thoroughly even if I didn't do everything, because in terms of skill point stuff for unlocking all the skills, I got every single thing except 4 of the final HP upgrades, and at that point it's just HP, you know? Like, I maxed out my attack and I got every single move and thing on there. Real good. Combat depth doesn't feel as good as Lost Judgment, but Lost Judgment's a more fuller game, like in the whole package type thing, and this is still like Gaiden at heart, so we'll see. They just need to put out Lost Judgment 3, or like a 3rd Judgment, and a Lost Judgment 2, and just give me Yagami back, man. Please, God. Then I will allow you to make a Kiwami 3. It's gonna be really funny when they make a Yakuza 3 Kiwami, and then suddenly Kiryu can jump. Because now they've added jump tech to these games. Excited to see where that goes. It'd be really funny if it was just in this one, though. Anyway, aside from that, of course, we got the Mario Party 5 stuff in here, which was a good time. I had a pretty good time doing the Mario Party 5 stuff. We got our usual original crew in for that, of myself, Jordan, Ari, and Alto. And as promised, we did take a bit of a break from it, and then we did 2 boards of it, 30 turns. I feel like some people have concerns that maybe we truly hate each other when we play Mario Party, and it's becoming evil. But as you may know, much like wrestling, we like playing it up a little bit. And most importantly, after these games, Alto bought everyone McDonald's like he's the dad taking the Little League team home. It came out of nowhere, and I was like, oh, this is great, man. I had chicken nuggets and an apple pie. It was very good. I enjoyed it. It might have been also because they thought that it was Thursday and they were going to be paid, and it wasn't. That said, they did what was in their heart, and it was beautiful. Aside from that, we did Pokemon Presents, and that was great. It showed off a new pack coming to TCG Pocket, which is out today. So I need to start opening it. Very excited. They showed us more Pokemon Legends ZA, and that looks fantastic. I'm really excited for that. A lot of people are being, like, down on it. I guess they feel, like, whelmed, but also they've seen a Legends game before. So the only big things they have to really show here is that this one's focused less on going out into fields and more a sprawling city to explore. And a more modern look, and now more active combat where you have to, it comes down to spacing and timing of when you do your moves. They're on timers, and like swapping at the correct time. And I'm really interested in how that feels. I feel like they could. This feels like the moment that Legends really becomes a separate series unto its own that a lot of people could really get into. You know. It's not an online multiplayer game. It's a single player only. It's got action combat, but it still has what you want. Catching all the Pokemon and going through. Very excited to see how it goes. My favorite final boss sequence to play was the first Legends game, so I'm excited to see them try to one up that. One day they'll put voice acting in these. I'm guessing they're not going to do it in this one yet. I feel like they would have made note of it by now, but one of these days they'll realize that their games objectively become worse when they don't have it. And you may say, that's not true. And I'm like, stop panning the cutscenes with the guy's mouth moving. Because it makes it seem like if you pan them in the same way a scene with with voice acting does, you fucked up. Because then I'm gonna expect it. That's just how I feel on it. Because I'm someone who's terminally correct. I think I'm a reasonable person with Pokemon. I'm not examining the trees and saying that these games suck. I'm not like the millions of drones that go, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is so bad, and you're like, why? It's like the performance is bad. And I'm like, you want to talk about the story, the gameplay, the aesthetics, the new gameplay additions and stuff? And they're like, no, I just want to talk about performance. And I'm like, stay away from me. I don't know, the way I see people talk, there's like a thread that went up on what was it, Reset Era. There was just someone like, I need Nintendo to buy Pokemon. Because the last one did sell 40 million copies and the performance is bad. I'm like, when are these guys going to talk about how good Scarlet and Violet were as, like, games? I feel like an alien, alright? But it's only for, like, people to talk about it online or make YouTube videos that are, like, 2 hours long about how Pokemon's slipping. I don't know. I was on the anti-Pokemon thing in the 3DS because I wanted them to move on to the Switch so bad. And then they did, and I'm like, okay, I like this. Performance is pretty bad, but I still like this. Either way, Legends is exciting. It's coming out by the time the Switch 2 will be out, so we will be hitting a silky smooth 30 on that sucker. Real excited. Some people are like, but what if they don't do a patch for it? Then it won't. I'm like, it can brute force it, alright? PS5 didn't need to patch certain games for if they're not hitting their target, they will hit their target on the stronger machine. Don't worry, it's gonna be fine. Trust the plan. Anyway, that's everything we have to talk about here. Moving on, what else do we got going on? Yes, in the future, Monster Hunter Wilds. It's out now. I can play it right now. I'm not going to just yet, but I'm going to do immediate. It's the next thing I'm going to be doing on stream. Please look forward to it. Additionally, I'm probably going to be doing Golden Sun: The Lost Age this month, so please look out for that. Xenoblade Chronicles Cross Definitive Edition will be dropping. I am definitely going to be streaming that in its entirety. Very excited. I am now a Xenoblade fan by the time that Cross has finally returned to my doorstep this time. Excited to play it and enjoy one of my favorite composers for like anime, which was Hiroyuki Sawano. And this is the game that he has described in interviews was when he was able to establish his style. And that's sick. Really good. Really excited. I think it was like he discovered his voice, I think is the specific thing he said about it. Really excited to play it. And we will be diving into it. I imagine around launch. So, more news on that in the future. So we got Xenoblade, probably the Golden Sun: The Lost Age, Monster Hunter Wilds, and possibly Assassin's Creed. I think Assassin's Creed Shadows comes out this month, so I should be able to at least get a stream of that in. I know my audience may not particularly care for it. A lot of my audience likes Nintendo stuff and JRPG and Japanese games, but I mean, this is kind of Japanese. I think they made it in Canada, but like, I think there might have been a Japan support studio, maybe. I'm gonna play it. We're finally gonna cut the mustard on this one. We're gonna go in there. We don't. After 18 million controversies from white people mad about black people being in a Japanese game, finally, a mixed white Latino man will go in and play it and settle the beef forever. It sounds like it's another one of those Assassin's Creed games that's like too bloated and is like fun for a little bit. Good for people that want like a game that just like does not end and you just keep thumbing away at it. I don't know. I prefer the more traditional ones, but the RPG ones are like fine. But I do feel like I'm burned out by the time they're done. But I will be playing some of it, because I do try to give the Ubisoft stuff a try. They've been having a bad year. They've been having a bad couple of years here. So, gotta help them out a little bit. Get the word. We got to get the word out that they back up. Like, you know, maybe do a little bit of that. Aside from that, that's all I have planned at the moment. Sorry that I don't have anything else solidified, but that being said, Monster Hunter Wilds and Xenoblade Chronicles Cross, on their own, quite big games to do. So excited to do that. Anyway, I think I might be going out to the movies today. They're going to be showing the first few episodes of the new Gundam early. It's being collaborated with the studio that Hideaki Anno is in, and has the exact same character arts that you may have seen for various characters in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. People think that some of the character style in that looks fresh. I know nothing about it, so I wanted to get into it. But I'm definitely going to be, throughout the coming days, playing plenty of Monster Hunter Wilds. I would like to thank all of you for your constant support for the channel and everything. As always, if you want to support the channel, the best way you can do it at these times when these updates come out is the Patreon. Because the Patreon pays out at the first. And I always do my rent goals by design to... I only want to take the minimum amount of money to just make sure I'm good. And that is pretty much the rent, and then I have basically zero money left, and then the Patreon allows me to buy groceries and usually pay the start of the month electric bill, so everything like that is appreciated. It's times like these I wish I still lived with my parents, where at most all I had to do was like scrounge up $700 or $800 and then whatever I needed for food, and then I was good. But also living with your parents is like way worse for doing content and living and peace of mind and all that kind of stuff. It really is a struggle, ain't it? But whatever, I'm 32, I'm not going back. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Thank you for supporting, whether you do it on Twitch or whether you do it on here. And I love you very much, and I will see you guys next time.